Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. Wrong way down the off-ramp. Wow. Oh, my goodness.
Yes, developing news, a wild and frightening chase with a murder suspect. The car dropping parts and pieces as the driver sped and raced around Southern California for more than an hour. Well, Mike Rogers, you and I helped call this chase right up to the arrest.
And Mike, you've just discovered that the arrest actually happened by accident?
Well, luck. Well, probably a little bit more luck than by accident. But yeah, I mean, he made a wrong turn and there was already a cop there. We'll get to that here in a second. But I want to show you the wild moments from this chase that lasted nearly 2 hours. You see it behind me, the really high speeds here. We'll show you some of that too. I want to show you our first piece of video here. And in this video, you'll see all of the close calls that this driver had. Figueroa and 46, Grand and the exit of the freeway here. Just doing whatever he could really to get away while LAPD Newton officers were chasing him, even at this point, wrong side of the road and through a car wash. Now, what we know, a specialized homicide unit of the LAPD was trying to make this stop. It didn't work, and they chased him for a very long time, making dangerous moves like that throughout the course of the chase. And I want to show you this video, too, because during the course of the chase, it was the little bumper that could. The bumper stood on for a very long time, even though it went through a lot of emotions here. And you'll see it right there get clipped by the front end of that truck, and it comes around here as he's going wrong way off the freeway. He flips back around, and during the course of the chase, the bumper would slowly lose more and more. It clips the side of that car right there, and that's where we were for a really long time, where it was just kind of flipped back like that, hanging on as it went through, and then eventually it lost the right side of it, and that's all it was doing, was just barely dragging on by the left. But that Toyota never lost its bumper. I want to show you the next video here, because this pursuit changed dramatically after this CHP spike strip. CHP, very clever in how they did this. They stopped all traffic on the northbound 110, forcing the driver onto the shoulder, and then laid a spike strip down on the shoulder. Here it is in slow-mo. You'll see it one more time there. That wasn't the only spike strip, but that was certainly the most effective one. Brought the speeds from 100 miles an hour to almost 15 or 20. Watch this. This is an LAPD one that he sees in the roadway because he's going so slow and is able to get around it. LAPD tried 3 times to spike those back tires, and it appears on the last one they finally were able to get a little bit of it. But look, because we're going so slow, he was able to see them ahead of time and get out of the way. And so finally, LAPD officers get a little annoyed. And watch this. They almost kind of chase him in the street with the spike and then just toss it at the side of the car. And apparently that was kind of effective because it did make one contact with a tire. And then we had a problem with civilians. Look at this video here, because eventually we had all these people beginning to get involved. We heard on the radio that an Audi began following the chase, along with a Mercedes and potentially even a Tesla, the unit in the back there, constantly having to tell the airship, hey, these cars are even running red lights to keep up with us. It's unclear. And here's the trio of cars, those 3 in the back that Desmond circled for us. All of them were following this chase. It's unclear if they had any connection to the driver. We did see the driver on the phone at some points, or if they were just trying to be in the way. Then there's this guy who throws a box or a trash can or something at the driver as he's going down the street. LAPD officers swerving to get out of the way. It does cause the suspect to briefly lose control and spark on the tire. And then you've got this guy stopped at the turn signal. He gets out of his driver's side to start waving at the guy as he goes down the street. Then finally, we've got this car that we really weren't sure what they were doing, but it looked like they were at least trying to slow the guy down or impede him from continuing on. Ultimately, he just drives around. And then comes the arrest. This is the weirdest part. Watch this. So we had originally launched Desmond to a standoff of an armed suspect in South LA. Conveniently, at 92nd and Main. So the guy comes down the road and meets a cop that is not involved in the pursuit at all, but is setting up a perimeter for the barricade situation that's going on. So kind of by happenstance, this driver drives right into where that cop is. It causes him to get blocked in. He realizes the jig is up, and he eventually gets up and surrenders. LAPD taking him into custody tonight. Pat and Susie, we are working to figure out what homicide he is allegedly connected to. We're waiting for that specialized group of detectives to get back to us to let us know what this was all about. But this nearly 2-hour-long chase that was incredibly dangerous somehow ended up with no injuries.
Yeah, that's amazing that that happened. I was just telling Susie what was also very, you showed a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Just the citizen throwing what looked like a garbage can at this guy to try to stop him.
It was really ridiculous. And the people trying to get in and help, but it's obviously very dangerous.
Yeah. But all's well that ends well.
Yeah, no kidding. An eventful 2 hours though, Mike. Thank you so much.